Hi, today I want to look at a game where I am playing black against the player under the alias J1960. This was a 5-minute auto-pairing game played on the Internet Chess Club on the 17th of January 2010. My opponent's rating was 1925 and my rating was 2150. The ability to grind down opponents will come very useful throughout a chess career. This is especially true against lower rated players. When playing with this strategy, players must be very patient and wait for the opportunity to exploit their opponent's mistake. This is a typical sort of position arising out of the Caro-Kann or Scandinavian defense, and players of such openings need to continually grind down opponents in such positions. Here the game continued: Rook d5, Queen e3, Rook ed8, Rook e2, Queen d6, and now to defend against the pawn lever I used in the game, white can perhaps consider 20 b4 when black has a small advantage after b6. In the game my opponent played 20 Rook a e1. My opponent had earlier opted to trade off material, perhaps hoping to achieve an early draw. He is being too relaxed here and black is already able to achieve some advantage. b6. I played this move so that I could recapture with the pawn after I play the break c6 to c5. g3. This move turned out to be quite weakening. My opponent should have considered a less committal move. c5. And here white has no choice but to accept the pawn trade d takes c5. And now rook takes c5 is also good since white cannot set foot on the d file. But in the game I played b takes c5. Now black's complete domination of the d file is apparent. Taking on the isolated c pawn was an ambitious choice, but recapturing with the rook was equally good. King f2. This is also placing the king on a vulnerable square, which I really didn't understand during the game. White should consider placing the king on g2 instead, where it is slightly safer. h6. Black has all the time in the world, so I'd rid myself of any back rank tactics that might appear in the future. f4, Rook d7. This move defends the a pawn so that I can play c5 to c4 followed by Rook d3 at some point. Queen e4, Queen b6. And now my opponent played b3. c4 blocking the c pawn was a better way to defend. And now after Rook d3, black plans Queen c6 with a slight advantage. In the game my opponent played b3. And now I played c4 check. This tactic is favorable to black. Queen e3. And here the queen trade would make white's life easier, so I maintained the pressure by playing Queen c6. And now my opponent played b takes c4. Here Rook b1, Rook d3 is not particularly appealing. So instead my opponent tried to open up the position. B takes c4, Queen takes c4. Of course this has the disadvantage of giving white an isolated c pawn. Rook b1, white controls the newly opened b file, but black maintains a clear advantage due to white's isolated c pawn and weak king position. Rook d3. And now white could try to offer a trade with 30 Queen e4. It is a typical defensive strategy to offer material in exchange for more activity. After Queen takes e4, Rook takes e4, Rook takes c3, Rook b2, white has reasonable drawing chances. Of course, black need not accept this offer. Instead, Queen c5 check, King g2, g6 keeps black's large advantage. He will win the c pawn within the next few moves. Instead, my opponent played 30 Rook b8 check, King h7, Queen e4 check. This is a similar strategy to the trading of pieces technique I mentioned before. Queen takes e4, Rook takes e4, Rook takes c3. Here, white should return with his Rook, Rook b2, when my computer believes black is still winning after the ambitious move g5. In the game, my opponent played 33 Rook a4. Which is a mistake. This move is bad because the position doesn't call for white to go on the aggressive. Rook d2 check, and now white's king is in serious danger. King e1, Rook takes h2, and here I'm threatening checkmate. King d1 was necessary here. When rook takes g3, threatens mate again on g1, and also leaves white's position in tatters. White has only one defense, to play rook e4, but after rook takes a2, white has no hope. In the game, my opponent played 35 rook b7. For some reason, I got the feeling that my opponent had seen the mate threat, but couldn't be bothered to defend against it. And here I played rook c1 checkmate. Thanks for watching this video.